Okay, these are our last new notes on logic statements, and this is a biconditional statement. What does the word bi mean? It means two, right? Biconditional means two. So in a biconditional statement, it's where you use the word and to put together a conditional and its converse, okay? So the definition is the conjunction, which sounds super fancy, of the conditional and its converse. Oops. Okay, and if we look at, yes, the other notes, the converse is where we switch it. Okay, conjunction means and, so you might want to write that at the top. Okay, the symbolic form isn't super important. Okay, most of the time you're going to see it written as like a back and forth arrow. But what's important is that you know how to read it. We read it by saying P, whatever the first part is, if and only if Q. Okay, so it's one of those things that happens if something else happens and only when that other thing happens. Okay, as far as the truth value, biconditional statements are true when both the original conditional and the converse are true. Okay, and again, that's not super important. So let's go ahead and look at the first example. It says two angles are supplementary if and only if. That's how you can tell it's a biconditional. So on your quiz this week, if it asks which one's the biconditional and you pick something that doesn't say if and only if, it's wrong. Biconditionals have if and only if. Bi means two. It has two ifs in it. Okay, so two angles are supplementary if and only if the sum of their measures is 180 degrees. So we want a conditional. What's the original? Okay, the original would be if two angles are supplementary. Okay, because remember, the conditional is the original if-then statement. If two angles are supplementary, then the sum of their measures is 180 degrees. Okay, and that's the definition of supplementary. So is that true? Yeah, that's true. So I'm going to put a T for true. Okay, the converse, remember, go back to your notes. The converse is where we switch the order. So we're going to take what we just did and flip-flop the order. So if, so you can write here if you want, we want write switch order. So we're going to flip-flop it. So if the sum of two angles is 180 degrees or measures 180 degrees, then, now we do the beginning part, they are supplementary. Okay, so is that true? If two angles measure as 180, then they're supplementary? Yeah, that's also true. So then the truth value overall is true. Remember, both parts have to be true for it to be true. So try number 2. Pause the video. Try number 2. See what you get. Okay, so it says I wear my snow boots if and only if it snows. If and only if it snows. So our original would just be the order it's in, but we change it to if then. If I wear my snow boots, because we are so used to wearing snow boots in Texas, then it snows. Is that true? Do our boots control the weather? No, just because you wear your snow boots doesn't mean it's going to snow. So that is false. Let's look at the second one. This is where we switch it. The converse is where we switch it. If it snows, then I wear my snow boots. That makes a lot more sense, right? You look outside, it snowed, so you put your snow boots on. So this is a true statement. But we said at the top, both have to be true for the whole biconditional to be true. So is it true? No, it's false. It's false because the conditional is false. Oops, false. Because the conditional is false. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video again. Try number 3. Number 3 is a little tricky if you don't remember how square roots work and squaring something, but I'm sure you can get it. I'm sure you can at least write the conditional and the converse. You just might not know true, false, because we didn't cover this a whole lot in Algebra 1. Okay, so x squared equals 25 if and only if x equals 5. So our conditional, remember we start at the beginning with if x squared equals 25, and then the stuff after the if and only if is our conclusion. So then x equals 5. Now, whether or not that's true or false, that's actually false, and I'm sure some of you know, but when you square a negative number, you can also get a positive number. So it's false because x could also equal negative 5. Because negative 5 squared will also give you 25. Again, not super important, but just so you know. If you go to Algebra 2 next year, you'll look at that a lot more. The converse is where we take that conditional and we switch it. We're going to switch it. So if x equals 5, then x squared equals 25. Is that true or false? That's true, because if I plug in 5 squared, I'm going to get 25. Okay, but overall our truth value is false because the conditional was false. So let's go ahead and try number 4 now. Okay, go ahead and try number 4. I will get 10% off if and only if I spend at least $75. So our conditionals, we start with the original order of the biconditional. So if I get 10% off, then I spent at least $50. I'm sorry, not 50. Why did I say 50? $75. Right? Is that true? According to that biconditional, that's true. Okay? Then the next one, the converse, that's where we switch it. Okay, so we're going to switch the order of the conditional. So if I spent at least $75, then I get 10% off. And again, according to the biconditional, that's true. So is the biconditional true? It is, because both things are true. So that's the last of our logical reasoning notes. The next set will be like a summary, like a little cheat sheet that you'll be able to use on your quiz and some practice. So hopefully you've got all your notes down. If you don't, you can go back to the Google Classroom and you can play those other notes back and get the notes from the teacher. Okay, and make sure you have everything taped in your notebook. You get to use your notebook on your quizzes and your tests, not your accuracy checks, but your quizzes and your tests, you get to use your notebook. So please, please, please make sure you're taking notes and you're holding on to them in your notebook and you're taping them in nice, just like you did in Algebra 1 last year, okay? The difference is you get to use them on your tests this year. So please make sure you're doing that. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.